Hey there guys. Today's project was simple, quick, and under budget. All three things that my wife did not think were possible when it comes to my projects. I didn't have to make a single trip to Home Depot. It cost next to nothing. And I think the total time to complete the project was probably 2 to 3 hours, not including the dry time of the linseed oil and the clear coat. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I built these little benches back there and behind me. And hopefully it'll give you ideas in case you want to do something similar. Alright guys, I'm going to make this voiceover super short because this project is super simple. Just two very basic steps. The first step, I'm going to be making the metal legs. You see me cutting out the metal right there. And then the second step, I'm just going to be refinishing an old chunk of glulam beam that I got off of Craigslist quite a few years ago. And you might think the first step of welding these legs is going to be complex. It really isn't. If you've never welded before, I would encourage you to take a class or find a friend that has a welder. I think you will be surprised on how easy welding truly is. Right now I'm just getting my Forney 190 multi-process welder set up for the MIG function, and the rest is super simple. You could learn how to weld this good after just a few hours of practice. Well, I'm going to concede that this is just a little bit more than 2 steps, but not quite 3. I'm going to say attaching the legs is just going to be a solid half step. And for this, I decided to use brackets on the inside of the legs because I didn't want fasteners showing through. And these brackets are just simply corner brackets that I got from Home Depot. And then I spray painted them a darker gray so that they will blend in with the metal of the legs. And one other thing that I did not show is that I clear coat these legs with a spray paint clear coat to prevent them from rusting versus painting them with paint, just because I wanted that kind of industrial look where you can see the sanding and grinding marks. And at this point, they are pretty much done. Well, that is pretty much going to do it for this video. I hope you guys found it interesting. I do realize probably not all of you will like the style, that industrial modern style, but as for my wife and I, we love it. A couple of things I didn't point out in the build portion of the video is that those glulam beams that I used were beams that I've had for probably 12 or 13 years, and I had gotten them off of Craigslist for $6 a piece if I remember right. They were just from an old construction yard, and they just had stacks of them, and honestly I wish I would have bought more of them. And then the tube steel that I made the legs out of, those were scrap pieces that I had left over from when I built the lower portion of my travel trailer frame. So as I mentioned before, this project virtually cost me nothing, and it went way quicker than before. And as I alluded to in the intro, that is kind of the moral to this story, is that dreams can come true and people can change. As I've proven with this, the dream of this is that my wife has been wanting me to stay under budget and have a project not take so long. Ding. And then obviously people can change. Maybe I'm going from that underestimating project cost and time to estimating it about right. So as always, appreciate you guys watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Check me out on all the social medias. Instagram is usually where I'm at, and I will see you guys later. Well, I definitely did not realize quite how short that video was going to end up being, but I guess that's good for a build video if you're just looking to see how the benches were made. As for the rest of you, I figured it'd be a good opportunity to give a little bit of an update on the bathouse project that I think you saw 2 or 3 videos ago. There it is in the background, and the update is that we have bats in there now. So I'm going to take the camera and I'll show you the first evidence I saw, and then I'm going to try to put the camera up in there and do my best job of focusing and see if I can show you the little bats that are in there. Anyway, I thought it was pretty cool, so I'll show you now. And that is assuredly a sign that we've got bats in the bathouse. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there are 3 bats up there, best I can tell.